Hello guys, welcome to the next tutorial in Java. In this tutorial we'll be looking at Java variables. So let me go make some project files. Okay, so I'm gonna go next. I'm going to type it as variables. The name of the project is variables. I'm gonna click finish. Right. You can actually leave all these things, but I prefer removing it. Don't like it. You can even remove this as well. So but if you want, you can actually leave it. So now I have an error because I've removed the package name, so I can click on it and move it to the correct folder. In case you are using Notepad++, you don't actually need to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is to just make some variables. So it's easy to make variable in maths, just the way you make basic variables in, it's easy to make variables in Java, just the same way you make easy variables in math, some basic variables. So just x equal to 2 or 3, and then maybe like v assigned to 2, or assign y to the value 5 semicolon. This is simply how you make Java variables. Okay, I think my caps lock is on, so I can just take it off. So this is simply how you make Java variables. Okay, so but now you see a bunch of errors around the whole stuff. So if you try to print it, for instance, let's print one of the values, like system dot out dot print line. But it wouldn't really make sense printing it because we actually have an error. So if I highlight on one of the error, you see something that says cannot find symbol variable x, location class variable. So now it's telling me it cannot find what I'm talking about. So it doesn't know what x is. So what it means is I've not actually initialized my value. So okay, something we call an integer, and we specify as an int. See, the error is gone. And then the second one, int, the error is gone. The third one, I can use double for the third one, or I can use int, whatever I want to do. See, the error is gone. So now I can easily and safely print my value x. See, now I have an error again. Now the reason why I have an error is because here is capital X, so I'm supposed to specify capital X in the bracket. So now I can save my program and then run my program and see the result of it. Okay, so it tells me 3 is my value. So let me go back, and then you see something. So I get 3 as my value whenever I print x. The reason is because I've actually initialized, or rather I said x should have the value 3. So I assigned 3 to the value, I assigned x to the value 3. So, and the way I did it was to use what we call an int. So without int, there'll be an error. So Java understands what I'm talking about when I use the type int. So, but now if I go ahead to print my y, it's going to see what will happen. So whenever I print my y, I'm going to have the result as 5.0. And then you see I have 5.0. So the reason I have this 5.0 is because of this keyword double. This type double. Double returns, in double, like two values, rather, really not two values, but decimal number. So double returns to a decimal number. The same thing with float. Float also returns to a decimal number. So I'll save it and run, and you still see the same value as 5.0. So float returns also in a decimal number. So, but the unique thing about float, double, and int, which is integer, it's actually that double is actually the highest of them all. Double can store something in a decimal number, like for instance, we can have double, and then I can store double 2.345 whatever, blah blah blah. So I can actually store a lot of digits for double. I can keep going tons and tons and tons again. All right, tons again. So double stores very max of decimal number. But but okay. So let me get rid of these values. I don't need them. So like 3, and then I'm good to go. So I can actually print out, save this, and print out the value of v, for instance, and then you see the result. So whenever I click run, and then you see the results, 2.3. See, that's double for you. But now I cannot store something like, remember when I printed my value y, I got 5.0, but I cannot store a decimal number in a float. See, that's the disadvantage. Like for instance, let's hover on it and you see the error message: incompatible type, possible lousy or loosey conversion from double to float. So I cannot do that. That's what it means. It's not compatible. So, but int can also store a decimal number because it's not meant to do that. But double can actually store a decimal number, right? So 2.0 or 2.3 or whatever I want to put. Okay. So I can actually reassign values. For instance, I cannot say, for instance, I have int x equal to 3 assigned to the value 3. Imagine I try to, I can ask as well do x assigned to the value of 4, for instance, semicolon. You see, I do not have any error, and you wonder why that is. But now, as soon as I put int in front, there will be an error. Now, the reason is I've already defined the value x. What is x? The type of x this is an integer x. I can change it from an integer x to a double x, right? But there's still an error. The reason is I've already given this a double or an int, whatever it is. But why do you want to reassign the value by giving it an int again? So because of that, an error comes up, so I need to remove it. So because now it automatically knows that the value of x is actually double. The type for x is actually double, and then the value for it here is actually 4. So if I give 3, it's still correct. So if I give 4, it's still correct. Okay. Okay. So whenever I print the value x, now watch, this is the good part of it. Whenever I print the value x, I'm going to have the result 4 printed out, and you go like, oh, but x is actually 3, yeah. But now the value of x has been changed down the code right here. So you must understand that in programming, your code runs from top to bottom, or whatever from left to right. Just know that. So anytime I reassign the value of x here, it changes the initial value. So whenever I print this capital X, it's going to print 4. If you don't believe me, I'm going to go and print it. So then you see the value 4 printed out on the screen. 4.0 rather, because it's a double. So oh yeah, it's a double. So I can change the value of x. For instance, I can say x plus maybe 5 or something, or I can still come down and say maybe x is equal to, x is assigned the value of maybe another value of x plus let's say y semicolon. So you can actually do whatever you want to do. This is x that's been defined, so I don't need to put double or whatever. So now if I print the value of x, you'll be surprised to see like you'll be surprised to see like 19 printed out for me on the screen. If my math's right, it's gonna give me 19. Oh, 14. So it gives me 14 on the screen. So you wonder why that is, because the value of x right here is actually 3. But now you see, like I said, the value of x changes every time you reassign them. So here the value of x is now 9. 4 plus 5. So x initially now is 9. So when I'm trying to reassign the value of x, what I'm doing is saying x plus x. So he said, okay, what is the last x I actually assigned? This is the last x I assigned. This is the first x I assigned right here. This is the next one. So this is the last one I assigned. And the value for this x is now 9. So it takes the same value as x, which is 9, right? So and adds it to the value of y. What is the value of y? The value of y, the last y I assigned was actually 5. So it says okay 9 plus 5, and it gets the result of 14. Now 14 is assigned to this particular x right here. So if I go ahead and say system.out.println x, and it gets 14 printed out on the screen. So I can actually change the value of y if I want to. So I can see y is equal to maybe 1 semicolon. All right. So but now if I go ahead and print this, I'll still have the same 14 printed out on the screen. I'd be like, why is that possible? Now, what I told you guys, the code runs from top to bottom. So it sees this x and says what is x. X is from here. This is 9. So this x is actually 9. So what is the value of y? The value of y, it goes back and says the value of y is 5. But before it sees this, it doesn't see this. But if I take this from here and put it maybe before it or above, whatever, or wherever above, now it knows that this value of y has been changed to 1 before this line of code. So this is y5, comes down the code, y is still 5, comes down the code. Oh, now y has changed to 1. So you see, so now y here will now become 1. All right. So if I print this on the screen, it's no longer going, it's going to give me 10. Okay, I got this. All right. So guys, this is how you make simple Java variables. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, just comment down there. If you do, just comment and then subscribe to my tutorials, like the videos, and don't forget to share. Have a great day and watch out for my next tutorial. Bye for now.